My name is Bob Hames, and I'm the owner of Jungle Aquatics in Virginia Beach, Virginia. We're a relatively new aquatic store, and I'm here this morning with my very valuable and capable help, Sarah and Murphy. And one of the things I want to talk about is feeding the fish. It seems to be an area where most people lack the proper knowledge. So I've got my food cart here, and I'm going to have Murphy, who is kindly doing this for me, kind of pan this so you can just see all the different things that we have on the cart. And that also doesn't include the live food that I feed, which consists of course, feeder fish, or the predator feeders, live brine, live blackworms, which we carry, and also red wigglers and earthworms for big fish if we need it. Also, we'll use a lot of cut fish we have a big pond up front with big red-tailed cats, and big Oscars and big red devils and big arowana that we'll use some cut fish. So this cart doesn't even show all of that. But as you can see here, I've probably got 25 or so things, a multitude of different pellets in both size and makeup, from algae food, shrimp pellets, pellets with different protein, down from about 0.5 millimeter all the way up to about a 4 millimeter, 5 millimeter size, as well as sinking wafers, both algae and regular. I have frozen beef heart on this cart, and also we use a press-on food when we want to do a quick feeding for smaller fish or small fish we're trying to size up. So when I speak to customers here, and I speak to everybody I help with fish or help with water testing, I talk about feeding the fish because it seems to be an area that most people lack the proper knowledge. Most of the times when I ask, people tell me that they feed their fish once a day, and on some occasions once every other day, which is a subsistence diet at best. And at a subsistence diet, the fish are never going to be at their best. They're never going to be as big, as filled out, as strong, or as colorful as if they're being fed properly, which technically properly would be about 8 times a day. And this information comes from Dr. John Grodzik, who's the head of the veterinary department at the University of Georgia, who has done a lot of work with the Florida fish farmers through the years. So what I generally recommend to people, because it's the best way, is to feed at least 3 times a day. Feed in the morning, feed in the evening when you get home for dinner, and feed before you turn the lights out. You have nocturnal fish, maybe even feed again a little bit after the lights are out. Now, a lot of times I tell people that, and I see their eyes spinning in their head, and I know they're thinking, well, that's overfeeding. Well, you don't want to be confused about overfeeding versus how many times a day you feed. Okay? I can overfeed feeding once a day by putting more food than the fish will consume. And the unconsumed food sinks to the bottom, and if you don't have scavengers there to clean it up, it starts to decay in very short order. When it decays, it all turns to ammonia, and it deteriorates your water quality. So fish technically eat about 8 times a day, and if you feed your fish, you can go back 20 minutes later and put more food in there. They're still looking for food. They're grazers. They're looking for food all day. So the more often you feed them, really the better, as long as it's what they'll eat. So one of the questions I always ask people is, if I feed my fish 10 times a day, and they eat it all, is that overfeeding? And of course I get a multitude of answers, some yes, some no, some just aren't sure, which is okay. But the answer to that question is absolutely not. If they're eating all the food, it's not overfeeding. And the fish are going to be better off because that's how they eat naturally. They eat all the time, other than when they're resting or in spawning time. So I wanted to spend a few minutes to talk about this because I'm really a little bit shocked at, again, how many people really don't know this, and what they do is what they've been told. It's what I was told when I started this once a day. And that just needs to be refined. Once a day is not enough. Okay, that's it for today. Just a quick little thing on feeding. Thanks for your attention. Bye.